Hi Flosstube, I'm Sally. I'm StitchySally here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Today is the 17th of July 2024 and this is Flosstube number 81. A very warm welcome, whether you are a new or a returning viewer. It's lovely to have you here. If you like what you see and you're not subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button, like this video, and if you have time, it would be lovely if you'd leave me a comment. No obligation whatsoever to do that. So today I have some finishes to share, I have some new starts, I have the usual whips, and I have a teeny weeny little bit of haul. So I'm going to get started. So I'll start with my finishes. I'm looking at my notes, they're totally in the wrong order because I started with new starts, then whips, then finishes. But I'm going to start with finishes because it seems the logical thing to do. So I finished Heart in Hand Bluebird sampler, which I was stitching on a Saturday night with my very dear friend Lainey, who is Lainey Main on Instagram. And I was also stitching it with Sarah, So Me Sarah, who was stitching this as part of her Fun for 50 2024 Sal, which she's doing with Sally at Flossy Sews and Grows for their 50th birthdays this year. And I stitched this with Roxy Floss Great Lakes, which was a 60th birthday gift from Sally at Flossy Sews and Grows. Sorry. Sorry about that. And would you believe I'm not coughing as bad as I was? Touch some wood because I know how this goes. I've had it long enough. So there we are. That is my finish. So this is stitched on a 32 count Vintage Country Mocha even weave, and I have done it one strand over 2 fabric threads. And I am absolutely delighted with this. Love, love, love it. It's really, really pretty. And I have sorted some backing fabric for it. I'm just going to make it into a pillow. I think I've got some blue rickrack that will do actually. I think from when I stitched, oh, what was it? Sue Hillis. Something in blue. Cannot remember. But yeah, that is my finish. And if I can get some enthusiasm built up, it might be a fully finish by the time I come back. But just don't hold your breath. And then I finished this one, which is Barbara Anna Designs Garden of Dreams. And I stitched this on a Wednesday for hashtag Barbara Anna Wednesdays with my lovely stitchy friend Sally at Flossy Sews and Grows. And I stitched this as part of her Fun for 50 Sal 2024 as well. She was stitching this, as was Debbie, who is Debbie Ann 2018 on Instagram, and also stitching along with us are Audrey the Fancy Froggy and Sue, who is Sue.Walker. Can't remember, but it will be in the description box down below. Anybody that I mention will be in the description box down below. So I can't show you the threads because I've put them all away. And there she is, all done. And she's stitched on a 32 count raw linen. I don't think it's Zweigart. I think Zweigart linen is a slightly different shade of raw. Should I say Zweigart raw linen is a different shade, I think, to this. But isn't she beautiful? So pleased with this. Absolutely loved every single stitch. apart from the ones, of course, that I had to rip out. But yeah, she's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Don't know how I'm going to finish her. I may see if I've got a hoop big enough that she'll go in, or I might have to look for a frame. So that's finish number 2. And then finish number 3 is this one. It's Stitches Through the Years Happy Spring. And this was the last of the 4 seasonal stitches that I was doing by Stitches Through the Years. And I stitched this on a Friday with my very dear friend Barb, Batty Bat 210 on Instagram. We stitch sheep on a Friday at the moment. Again, not got the threads because I've put them away. And this is stitched on 40 count vintage country mocha. I've stitched all 4 on the same fabric, so they all fit into I think it's an 8-inch box frame from the works. I'll just swap them out each season, or at least that's my intention, to swap them out each season. So there we are, all done. I did not fill in all the grass in the bottom. I thought it was I think it was Danielle, the Cardiff Stitcher, she suggested on, I think it was the autumn one, that I leave it off, and it saved a hell of a lot of time, so I'm doing the same on this one. So those are my 3 finishes. So I will now move on to new starts. So for my Saturday night sal with my dear friend Lainey, I decided to start a stocking from this chart, which is Blackbird Designs Merry December. So I'm not stitching this one because my lovely friend Chris stitched this one for me as part of an exchange. We do a Christmas ornament exchange every year. So I've already stitched this one, it's waiting to be made up, so I'm now doing this one, which is Snowy Eve. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count vintage country mocha, and I'm just using the DMC conversion off the chart. Sorry, threads are a bit of a mess and I've barely even started. And yeah, just excuse the state of this, because when I said a scrap of 32 count vintage country mocha, I meant a scrap. So that's where I got up to when I started it on Saturday evening. So really enjoying that. I'm not looking forward to making them up, but I have had a couple of people say they're not as bad as you think. I don't tend to do shapes, strange shapes, very well, but I'll give them a go. So that's one new start. Just excuse me while I just pop these back into the project bag. And then my next new start is for Barbara Anna Wednesdays, and I decided after much deliberation on this one, which is Dreaming in the Seashore, and it is from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher Summer 2022. I no longer subscribe to this. I think my subscription ran out with the autumn issue last year, and I decided not to renew it. So I'm stitching this with the called for DMC, and it's on an unknown piece of fabric. I've had it in with this for quite a while because I was kind of going through fabrics deciding what I could use for some Barbara Annas. And those are the threads. Again, they're a bit of a mess. And those are some floss drops that lovely Charlie gifted to me. And I love Charlie's floss drops. They're nice and strong and really pretty. And that is my start. So she'll be coming out for a bit more love tonight. Hopefully get a good bit more done on her. And as I've said before, I just love these Dreaming Gals. I think they're my favourite designs of Barbara Anna's. Don't like them all, but I like the majority. So that is new start number 2. Sorry, just going to pause you for a minute. Sorry, I needed to blow my nose and you really don't need to see that on camera. And then my final new start is this one, and it's Little House Needleworks, My Sheep. Yep, My Sheep. And it says My Sheep, Hear My Voice on it. I'm not a religious person, so I'm going to try and think of something else. Or if you have any suggestions, do please pop them in a comment. So yeah, I've had this in my stash for quite a while. My lovely friend Lainey, she passed it on to me when she'd finished with it. And I'm not using any of the Crescent colours, I'm just using the DMC substitutions off the chart. So those are the colours. And then thinking they're not all there, but they must be. And I'm using a piece, I think it's a 32 count, it's like a off-white I think, or an antique white or something. It's a thin, it's not Zweigart, it's a very thin piece of fabric. It was in a bundle, sorry I can't get my words out, it was in a bundle that I was given last year. Somebody was having a turnout and she asked me if I would like a bundle of fabric, and there is quite a lot actually. There's quite a lot of 32 count, and there's some 36 and 28 as well, and there's also some Ada which Abby might use. So that's my start there on that one, and this is for my Friday night sheep stitch with my dear friend Barb. Haven't stitched a Little House Needleworks for a long time. I used to stitch a lot of Diana's designs, and like I say, I've not done one for a long time, so it's quite a nice change actually. So those are my new starts. So we'll move on to whips now. So I'll start with Thy Hands by Teresa Kogut, and this is the final of my 6 for 60 starts that I did in December for my 60th birthday. I'm stitching, for anybody that's new here, I'm stitching this. I will do these two at some point, but I will probably have a break from this and stitch on something else once the big piece is finished. And joining me with this one is lovely Elaine, who is Ellie Welly Stitcher, and Sally, Flossy Sews and Grows. She wanted to start with me as well, but unfortunately she couldn't get the chart at the time, so she's just started it as one of her Fun for 50 Sal 2024, and it is a lovely stitch. So I'm stitching this with the called for DMCs, and I have substituted the Weeks Dye Works, just using the DMCs that are on the chart, substituted the conversion. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 40 count vintage country mocha, and there we are. So as you can see, I've nearly got all of the inside of the design done, and then I'm going to move on to the border. I have to fill in the beehives, and then I think I've got some bees to do. I've got some bits to fill in on these here. Just got to do the middle bits. I was actually going to leave them because I didn't think they looked too bad just left, and then I forgot that was what I was planning to do and started stitching them, so I'll just carry on as I was. But yeah, really enjoying this. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful stitch. A lot more to it than you think. I think all of us stitchers say that at some point there, don't we? There's a lot more to it than I thought. And then on a Tuesday night I stitch Blackbird designs with my dear friends Barb and Mouse, Michelle, who is Tales of a Stitching Mouse on Instagram. And I am stitching this one, which is Blackbird Designs Strawberry Fields Forever. And I'm stitching along also on this particular design with Yoanita, who is Yoanita Stitchy Things, and Audrey, who is, and I still don't know whether I'm pronouncing this right, audabod on Instagram. And as I've said a few times, this is driving me mad. It is such a busy, busy piece, and you really have to concentrate. You know, there's just all little bits all over the place, and the border, the vines in the border are not the same colour. You have to be really, really careful to make sure that you go so far up in one colour and then you change, and so far up in another colour. So yeah, I'll be pleased to see the back of it, I must admit. It's not often I say that about a project, but this and the Long and Winding Road from the Magical Mystery Tour series, I'm pleased I'm only stitching them once. So I'm stitching it in a mixture of the called for fancy flosses, and if I don't have them, I'm using the DMC conversion. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 40 count Picture This Plus Bashful. Look how diddy it's turning out on a 40 count. It is pretty. I'm going to love it when it's finished, don't get me wrong. But oh, it's just such a busy, busy piece. And I'm probably going to end up missing some of it, because I won't realise that I've missed it until it's too late, probably, and it's framed. But it is pretty. It's a very pretty piece. Now, I am assuming, because somebody did ask me what I thought this was, and I actually think it's a plant pot. I mean, it's a huge plant pot next to that house, isn't it? I think it's a plant pot. I think lady called Barbie, who watches my Flosstubes, she thought it looked like an Afghan quilt or a waterfall, which I now cannot unsee a waterfall. So I thought that was funny. So yeah, that's Strawberry Fields. Onto the back. And then the next whip is the Primitive Hare Cross Stitch Collector. And I purchased this with a gift certificate that was gifted to me by one of my lovely viewers. Not last year, the year before. And it comes with the fabric, it comes with the backing board, and it comes with 2 buttons. So I'm not stitching this with all the called for. The only one of the fancy flosses I have is maple syrup. And then, what else was there? I have substituted Chesapeake Bay for 926 and Kogut for 310. And then it called for 3770, and then there was a 3880 which we can't get in this country, so I subbed that for 3722. And then it's a Krynic 221 Antique Gold, and I subbed it for Petite Treasure Braid PB35. I don't like Krynic. I don't particularly like metallic, but I will use a metallic. So this is going well now. I actually have collector spelt right, which I believe I did last time. I've got the cross done up the top. I've got the lady done, well, so much of the lady done. I've got this cotton reel here. I have to fill this one in here because that is done with the gold. I don't know whether I'll get it finished this week. I'll be picking it up tomorrow evening. But once I do finish it, I think I'm going to do some secret stitching. I need to do some secret stitching. Because you think you've got plenty of time and then all of a sudden it's nearly here, and I don't want to do that because I don't like having to rush anything if I can help it. And then my final whip, oops, I'll put that away after, is Long Dog Samplers, the Pilgrim, and I adore this, absolutely adore it. I look forward to picking this up every Sunday, love it. So I am taking part in a few sales with this one. The hashtags will be in the description box down below if you'd like to have a look. Sorry about that. So I'm using Anchor Black, which is 403. I'm using DMC White for the back stitch over the black, and I'm using Carrie's Creations Old World Red for the wording. I'm stitching it on a piece of 20 count Balana. Kind of wish I'd used Ada, but it's fine. And I have finished page 4. Even though I say so myself, it looks fantastic. Love it so much. So before I pick this up on Sunday again, I'm going to have to grid page 5. I suspect that page 5 may take a lot of doing. I mean, it's not for the faint-hearted, I don't think, she says. I mean, I think Strawberry Fields Forever is busy. This is busy, but it's just, I don't know, it's just such a joy to stitch. Really, really love it. So pleased that I decided to take the plunge. And you just see something new. Maybe, you know, something that you've maybe not seen on the cover photo, and then all of a sudden it's there in front of you. And I hope that everybody else who was starting the first Long Dog is enjoying theirs as much. And that is all of my whips. Ooh. Don't know what that was. I had a lady comment about Strawberry Fields, that obviously the lady who said, was it a waterfall, or, well, an Afghan or a waterfall. So that was Barbie, who is Barbie Crab 369. I've got it written down, aren't I? Good. And she asked if I would show my other Magical Mystery Tour pieces. So if you've been with me for quite a while, you will have seen these. But I am going to show them again, just for those of you who haven't been here very long. So this one is Blackbird. I don't know what I stitched it on. I don't even know the thread that I stitched it with, because I don't know how long ago it is, because I haven't even put anything on it to say when it was. But yeah, that's one. Just backed it in that. And then this one was the last one that I did before I started Strawberry Fields, the Long and Winding Road, which was an absolute pain in the ass. But it was worth it. It is a very, very pretty piece. And that was stitched, I think it's 36 count. It is Vintage Country Mocha. And then, I have to be a bit careful with these. This one, which is Yellow Submarine. That was stitched on, it's a 40 count. It's a sparklies. Here Be Dragons. And I stitched it with a mixture of the called for hand dyeds and DMC. And this is finished in a box frame from the works, and I popped seashells in the bottom. And I enjoyed stitching that one, unlike the Long and Winding Road. I just hope I can get these back up on the wall. And then we have Octopus's Garden. From the glare actually to show you it, sorry about that. And this one was stitched on, I think it's a 32 count. I think it's vintage grey. Yeah, I'm sure it's vintage grey. And again, I used a mixture of the called for hand dyeds and DMC and popped some seashells in the bottom. And again, a box frame from the works. And then the final one is Eleanor Rigby. I think I stitched this with all the called for, or nearly all the called for. And that is, I think that's 36 count. Is it 36 count or is it 32? Not entirely sure, I just know it's Vintage Country Mocha because that's my favourite. And again, a box frame from the works. So those are the other Magical Mystery Tour pieces. And then I have a little bit of haul. I got my, and do excuse, it's going to be a little bit crinkly. I'll do it as fast as I can. I got my June fabric of the month from Fabrics by Crafty Kate. And I get a 36 count linen, 13 by 18 piece. That is really not showing there. I don't know how you describe it actually. But it's quite a nice neutral. Little bit of mottling. So I usually get a 36 count. Some months I do change it, some months I don't get it all. I've not got the June. I'm not getting the July one. And that's what I like about Kate's Fabric Club. You don't have to have fabrics that you don't want. You can change your count. And then I procrastinated over buying myself some more floss drops from Charlie Feathers. I love Charlie's floss drop. I'm just going to take them off here actually, just so I can show you a little bit better. And she'd popped up a pre-order on her Ko-fi, whatever you call it. for some Christmas floss drops, and she'd added 2 more, and you could either buy them, you could either buy the full set, either 12 or 14, depending on whether you wanted the extra 2, or she just added the 2 separately if you'd already bought the 12 before. So these are the ones that are in the original 12. And I just think Charlie is just so wonderfully talented. These are all painted by Hare. I'm just going to go through them as quick as I can so you can see what they're like. And as I say, I procrastinated because I thought, can I justify buying these? And then I remembered that I don't know whether it was birthday money or Christmas money, because it just goes away. And I just leave it for when I want something. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to have these for when I do any Christmas stitching. Or even non-Christmas stitching. Christmas floss drops do not just have to be for Christmas stitching. I just think they're incredibly cute. And then these are the 2 extra ones that she's added. And of course, had to have a sheep, didn't I? There's a robin in there. Gotta have a sheep. And cute little reindeer. So, yep, that was my little treat. So I'm not going to declare those on Stitch from Stash because, say, they were with some money that I had left over from my birthday or Christmas. And then Charlie very kindly included this ring bling because she said he was lonely and if I could give him a good home. So he goes on those. So thank you so much, Charlie. Absolutely love those. Really, really pleased with them. Can't show you the tea because I drank it the day it arrived. And for anybody that knows, Charlie always includes a tea bag. And the one that I got was apple and cinnamon, and it was really, really nice. And she also includes some Lotus Biscoff biscuits. They've gone as well. Right. I'm just going to do a giveaway. It's not for much. Usual rules apply. Don't say the word giveaway, contest, anything like that. That'll get the bots or the people we don't want to win in there. You must be over 18, so I can ask for your address. So these are charts that I actually purchased second-hand quite a while ago. They've been sat in my stash and I've decided that I'm not likely to stitch them. So so the first, well, they're both Little House Needleworks, and this is Sampler Heart. Doesn't include any threads in this. I got it. Do you know what? I've barely coughed today. This must be all the talking that I'm doing. Right, so stack. No threads with this, it is just the chart. And if you would like to win this, if you could use the word heart, H-E-A-R-T, heart. This is UK only, I'm afraid. I'm really sorry, but postage prices are just getting more and more ridiculous. So yeah, if you would use the word heart, if you would like to win this, and I'll pick a winner. Hopefully when I come back, hopefully in a fortnight. And then the other one is giving thanks. So it includes this design here, and it also includes a bonus chart called Needles and Pins. Again, UK only, and if you would like to win this, if you could use the word thankful. That's THANKFUL. And again, I'll pick a winner before I film next time. So I think that is everything for my stitching. Yeah, still coughing. Haven't been coughing quite as bad the past few days, so I am. I know how this goes. It gets that way and then it gets worse. But I am firmly crossed fingers, that's what I was trying to say. Haven't been back to the doctors yet. I think I was due back last week or this week, but I'm going to ring up and get a pre-bookable appointment, because I don't know what days the doctor I want to see is in. I've got an appointment for a lung function test at the beginning of next month, which I'm not looking forward to, really not looking forward to that. But I'm kind of hoping that if I carry on the way that I have been going over the past few days, that it might go all together before I go for that, and then I can just say no need to come, just cancel it. So we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. We had a day out last Thursday. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen some of the pictures. We went to Yorkshire Wildlife Park. It's about an hour and a half there, and obviously an hour and a half back for us. It was a very long day. Changed a lot since we last went. We went in 2019. Yeah, they've done a lot to it, a hell of a lot to it, and it's yeah, they've got some new animals, they've got new displays, loads and loads and loads. Just, we had about 6 hours just wandering around, looking at different things and going back to see if some of the animals had come out. They've got some cheetah cubs, but we only saw those with the mum on camera. We only saw the rhino on camera. But yeah, it was a brilliant day. It was cold, it was damp, and it did start to rain about half an hour before we left. So, but it didn't dampen our spirits. It was a really, really good day. So yeah, we used to go about once a year. Like I say, we've not been since 2019, obviously. COVID put paid to 2020, and then I think we just didn't fancy going really. But yeah, hopefully we'll pop up again next year, or pop across next year, down and across. So yeah, that was a nice day out. And I think that's it. I think we haven't done anything else really. My husband's done quite a lot. He went to Donington for British Superbikes he went on Friday for the practice because it's cheaper on a Friday. And then he's been to, I don't know, jet skiing or something like that to take photographs there. It's the carnival this weekend, so he's going to be busy with that. The local photography group have got a display there, so he's helping to man that. And then I think Friday night he's going to take photographs, and I think Sunday he'll take photographs as well. He's been asked to take photos by the carnival committee. I think that's about it. I haven't done a lot other than stitch, and I'm kind of a bit obsessed with Stardew Valley on my Switch at the moment, which is really bad. And I'm into my reading as well. I am currently reading Miriam by Miriam Margolyes. She's a hoot, absolute hoot. So yeah, I'm going to go because I'm getting up to 40 minutes. So when I have my hair cut, a little bit shorter than I'd like it, but that is my fault. That is not my hairdresser's fault. That's my fault. So yeah, I'm going to go. I will see you in a couple of weeks. So take care everybody and enjoy every single stitch. Thank you so much for watching. Truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.